All right, so let's talk about how it should work. And I'm really going back to how Muslims handle dating, how early Christians handle dating, how Amish look at dating, that kind of thing. They have great success rates. They have low drama divorce rates. I mean, just look at the fucking outcomes. How does this happen? So when you look at it, the father is the framework. So he raises the daughter. Obviously, the daughter imprints on it. Let's just assume that everything's right. This is an honorable father. This is an honorable masculine. This is a mature masculine father. So she already goes in understanding the value of masculinity. She's not raised in an environment where she's not seeing a give and take of the masculine. She doesn't have a super stubborn, defiant, annoying, problem causing mother. They're working as a team, etc. She understands the structure, the specialization, the rationality, emotionality balance, how these things entertain. So he's providing the framework. And again, ideally you have a father and a mother working together, but outcomes being as they are, a single father is actually just gets close to what a full nuclear family, as far as the outcome goes. Okay, so as she gets into maturity, so you run into 16 to 23. All right, father is the filter, meaning he understands masculine nature. He understands that there's just going to be pump and dump dudes, and he's, basically threatening them off. This is why the whole, dad introduced to the gun collection, etc. You know, we're not, we cared for this person. This person is a part of us, and so we're not going to allow, raw masculine sexuality to wreck the daughters, right? But it's also keeping her desires in check. If she's constantly overshooting, because she's getting a power surge at a very young age that's basically just given to her, just a result of genetics. Um, he's keeping her in line as well, not to get hyper hypnotized by hyper masculine or high value men, who just want to, uh, have sex basically. So it's not a matter. It's only a matter of him pushing back, but him pulling her up, and this is really essential. Obviously, yes, she has autonomy. She needs to make her own decision ultimately. But a maturing female should understand the value of a mature father inherently, right? Understand that there's somewhat of a dependence still, on his masculine. He's aware of masculinity, right? And masculine nature, his masculine frame. She's somewhat dependent upon that, and that's okay. Like, you're willing to accept help. The father is gonna have, uh, you know, probably one of the only masculine figures in her life. Um, when you reach that level of power, that's going to be interested in her best interests exclusively, right? A mature man is going to encourage his daughter to marry by 23 to avoid this downside, right? This acceleration cycle of dysfunction. So, you know, here's your options, etc. You really should be looking to settle down, have a family, because he knows that this attractiveness matches her own fertility. Like, your peak fertility 23, and it's just downhill from that as far as like problematic pregnancies, etc., etc. So, um, you know, like, her capacity to lock down the highest value man is about this age. So he's going to encourage that. He maybe going to go out and look for regular suitors. During this time, he's going to be vetting suitors as well. So while so now from this framework, we can understand why this has moved to 30 average age male, because women realize that they're dropping in power. and it's just a slide off the cliff in marketplace value. So they'll lock a dude up by 30, and this is why, again, you look at the U.S., you look at the U.K., they're all getting married off around that because the women want to get married at this age. More mature is just for a man's strategy is to work, build value, marry off 38, really. So, and look for younger, more fertile females, but also it's just more balancing from a masculine to go younger. It's more successful. So, and you don't have to deal with a bunch of baggage from her past. The more time she spends in this power curve and the more she drops in power, the more problems you have energetically, like the energetic exchange. I would not even promote. I like go back to the like 100 years ago, 85% of marriages were virgin marriages. I would 100% go back to virgin marriages. Um, I think it's psychologically disruptive. All the hookups, right? 5 bodies by marriage, at least. I mean, that leaves an imprint. I think genetically, women weren't designed to have a body count, have a high body count. It's not in their nature. It distorts their development. So, and even though that's against the interest of what the masculine sexuality wants, right? At the end of the day, if you want to talk about overall systemic health, I would seriously do virginity. I would encourage a daughter to have less a virginity or less than 3 bodies, really, and talk about masculine dispositions, masculine nature here. Talk about pump and dump damage. Point out, the damage of the long-lasting damage of a high body count here. And keep away from destructive media that promotes this shit, right? Sex in the City, all horseshit. Like, these women are thinking they can act like they're here when they're fucking here. It's a total disjunction. And they're all miserable and they all have 5 cats, etc. Like, it does not work. That media is totally poisonous. But, um, at the end of the day, it's gonna happen. We're gonna shift back out of necessity. The distortion of feminism and hookup culture is just a result of extravagant wealth and decadence, and it'll return to this naturally. Thanks for listening.